And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Live, Laugh, Left. Again with Garry, and I'm tired because it's early in the morning, but we're doing this so we can
It
get
is
you guys.
8:35 a.m. by the time we are recording this,
Oh, here we go.
Michigan Standard Time.
True. We should have our own time zone, like Arizona. Anyway, we got a lot to go over this week, and it'll be All Star Week. So they're currently in their All Star break, which is barely even a break. It's like 3 days off. Um, we'll go over the All Star game, all that jazz. NASCAR action from this past weekend at Lime Rock Park / Atlanta. And we got a few other things to go over, baseball related, a couple basketball things. The MLB draft happened as well, so we'll go over that. So it should be pretty good. So here we go. Before we get into that, though, I do have trivia this week. I know we haven't really had much trivia lately that wasn't from a guest, but I do have trivia this week. So here we go. It is baseball related because it's summertime and baseball shit. So are you ready, Garry?
Sure, let's go with yes.
In baseball, what does Oppo Taco mean?
The only time I've heard them say that was when there's a home run on the opposite side of the field of when they usually hit. So if like someone's hitting a righty, or if someone's a right-handed hitter, then and they hit a home run in the left field, I think that's what it means. I'm gonna assume. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but
That is correct. So Garry got a correct answer. Yeah.
wow, okay.
It means an opposite field home run. The only reason I know that is because when you listen to the radio broadcasts of the Tigers through the MLB app, they run a bunch of dumb trivia reruns over the commercials. And that's the only one I could remember. I don't remember any of the other vocabulary. So, there we go. Okay, not a too terrible ton of amount of stuff to go over this week. I think we do have something for football though. If Garry wants to take it away there, it looks like something he put down.
Did I?
It looks like you did. If you
I'm trying to figure out. I don't see any football.
other NCAA football, you put something down. Do I need to show you?
Okay. Sorry, nope. I found it. I found it. All right. So I did get college football 27. Um, let me tell you, I have been playing that game so much. If you guys have watched my latest live stream on YouTube, I played it for a little bit until I figured out that there was a lot of lag between my stream and my um game. So, for an update, if you guys want to know, I will not be streaming that just for that reason. I wish I could just stream it 24/7 because I have another person that streams on Twitch that we have an online dynasty together. But we can't because of that fucking reason. Anyways, um to say that I have been playing that game for a very, 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 very long time. I think the first 2 days it came out, I already had 14 hours into that game. I loved it that much. Right now, I have, in the span of what? It came out, what day? July 9th, I think? I think it was.
Sounds about right.
So 15 take away 9. I'm trying to think. That's not 6. No, it is 6. 6 days since its release. I've had 30.5 hours on that game. So, I'm almost up to 50 hours in the span of 6 days. So, what I might do is, who knows, I might go to Jeffy's place. I might bring my computer with me so that Tyler could try it out, because I really want Tyler to try this game out.
I'm not buying the game just because I don't think I'd play it enough to make it worth it. But I'll certainly try it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But,
Oh, it's a wacky
you know, it was a decent game. There was its flaws, like there was a time at the beginning before they did the new update, where basically for Road to Glory, which if you guys didn't know what Road to Glory was, it's just a career mode for your player, simple. And then for Dynasty and Online Dynasty, all 3 of those you would have to pay to upgrade your coach or player.
Like actual money?
Actual money.
That's crazy.
If you want it to be level
Microtransactions at its
99.
finest.
But there was a guy on YouTube that said, I'm done with this shit, because apparently they hid it from them. He went to the early access thing and he got to play it early. It never showed on there microtransactions. But EA and its little power hungry shit said, microtransactions, that will work. Let's just push the hide button. So that guy ain't doing anything with EA anymore. Let's just say that. And recently, EA was upset that, they're getting yelled at because of this situation. Now they took microtransactions out of those 2 spots. So now the only microtransactions you can get is, of course, College Ultimate Team, which is usual. I'm okay with that. But if you're doing an online fucking dynasty and a Road to Glory, especially Road to Glory, since you're not going up against an online player, why? Like,
I don't know.
There's a lot of issues there. But other than that, gameplay was good. The way you have to unlock mascots, I've already unlocked Buster the Bronco from Western Michigan and Sparty. So I have to get the rest, but the only way to do that is I have to play as all of them. And I don't really want to play as Central Michigan to get their mascot. Oh, wait, they don't have a mascot.
If they had a mascot, it would not go well.
No, it wouldn't. I think it would possibly be an Indian, if I'm not mistaken. Because they are the Chippewas.
Garry, they're called Native Americans. But yes.
It's the same. Well, no, it's not. Never mind.
Garry, you got strike 1. You're pressing hard.
I was going to say it was... No, I was going to say it was the same thing, but it's not. So, it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen,
anyways.
Hitmaster YT. Anyway, cool game stuff. Anyway, that was it for football. There's not obviously a lot going on for football right now. Now, basketball-related stuff, the NBA trade craziness is over, but as we get closer to college basketball season, we are awaiting the schedule releases for both Michigan State teams. They haven't been fully released yet, but there were a couple of schedule announcements. Basically, both the men's and women's team will be playing in the Acrisure Classic against Gonzaga in December. That'll be out in California. They do this. They go out there pretty much every year now because Acrisure is a big sponsor of MSU athletics because the owner of Acrisure is literally a giant donor, so it makes sense. Women's basketball specifically also announced that in late November, usually right around what we call Feast Week, because they do a lot of tournaments during Thanksgiving time. MSU will be in that, the Emerald Coast Classic. They'll be in that tournament alongside Alcorn State, UT Martin, and Virginia Tech, and that'll be out in Florida. So that'll be cool. Seeing the rest of their competition in that tournament, they should win that pretty easily, but you never know. That's really it for basketball related stuff at this time. I'm assuming that the full schedules will get released here fairly soon, probably within the next few weeks. I can't see them going too late into August without knowing what their schedule is going to look like. Then again, last year they waited until 5 weeks before the season started to release the schedules because of contract issues and them being stupid. So maybe that'll happen again. And just like basketball, there is not a lot going on for hockey at this time. Garry did put one thing down that he would like to mention, though, so I will let him take it away.
All right. Let me go down and find it real quick. Right here. All right. So this is about ECHL. As you know, the Bloomington Bison, I believe... I'm trying to think. What was their... Long story short, they got a new affiliate. I don't remember what their old affiliate was. I think it was the New York Rangers. I'm not too 100% about that. I'm going to have to look that up. Bloomington Bison former affiliate.
It's probably just going to come up with their new affiliate.
Probably. Okay, so yeah, it was the Rangers. Bloomington Bison had the New York Rangers and Hartford Wolfpack as the affiliates. But now they are their new affiliate is the Winnipeg Jets. So, which means the Kalamazoo Wings are probably going to get even more destroyed now because the Winnipeg Jets have good prospects on their lineup. So, yay. Which means I don't know what Winnipeg has. Oh, they have the Moose. The Manitoba Moose is their AHL affiliates. And then you have the Winnipeg Jets. And then the Bloomington Bison, who are the ECHL affiliate. But I think this is huge for Bloomington as a team. They need more good players. So, I may not like the Bison because I feel like the Bloomington Bison and New York and Kalamazoo Wings are going to turn into a rivalry soon. So, if not already, but for right now, Kalamazoo only has 3 rivals, which would be Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, and Toledo. So, I have to hate on Toledo no matter where I go. So,
I don't hate Toledo because they have a nice stadium and they're a Red Wings affiliate. So,
I'm not going to lie. Whenever Kalamazoo is out of the playoffs, I cheer for Toledo. Again, being a Red Wing affiliate, But whenever they face Kalamazoo, or when they're not in the, or when Kalamazoo's in the playoffs, yeah, I want Toledo to get eliminated instantly. So, but I mean, but other than that, Bloomington, welcome to the Winnipeg Jet. Or why did I just say Winnipeg? Winnipeg. There we go.
Winnipeg. You are a Winnipeg Jet. All right. That's it for hockey. We'll move on to the cream of the crop this week, which is always going to be baseball this time of year. Um,
Tigers.
like I said, the Tigers are in the midst of the All-Star break. I hate that it's like 4 fucking days max, and if you're playing the game, it's really not any break at all. But whatever.
What I think they should do is the last day of the All-Star week, they should make it the All-Star game. The first day, it should be like Northwoods League versus college. So like,
It would just be
or how
college
should I
players
say it?
playing college players, though.
No, I'm just trying to think.
What are
They
you?
used to have a thing where it was the features game, because if you remember in Atlanta they had the features game and there was a former lug nut on that team.
They still do
They
the
need to
features
keep it.
game.
I didn't see it this year, so
They did it.
I
It was
just
like I think it was Sunday.
it
So
was
there were
okay.
still the MLB games were still going on, but they were doing the futures game. They were talking about it on the radio broadcast how there was a Tigers prospect in there.
Okay, I thought they got rid of it, and then I was like, okay, so there's going to be no Midwest League All Star game and no All Star game for the minor leagues, but apparently they do.
But what happened with the Tigers before the All Star game? Surprise, surprise! Justin Verlander announced he's retiring after the season, um, which basically means he's already retired. He just has to show up to team facilities every day, even though he's probably never going to play again because his hamstring is made of glass. But at least he made it formal. They were in the middle of their series with the A's when this happened. They won Game 1, as we talked about last week. They also won Game 2, 6-1. And I was there. I went to that game. It was a lot of fun to go. I got my Tarek Skubal bobblehead as they were doing the back-to-back Skubal bobblehead giveaway, so I found somebody to go with, and we both got bobbleheads. I got the road version jersey, which was cool. So it's added to my collection. I'm very, very excited about that. Other than that, it was incredibly hot. It's been incredibly hot for like the last fucking whoever knows. I mean, it's been just asininely hot everywhere. Thank you, data centers. But anyway.
Yesterday it was hot and I lost my AC, but then it got back up. So
Garry's balling. Otherwise, he would have died. So
there'd be no more podcasts.
no more podcasts.
I mean, I still have a fan going on me right now, but other than that,
at least you have AC as well. I'm in my cool basement that Jeffy likes to sleep in.
Of course, Jeffy likes to sleep in the basement.
Other than that, it was pretty fun. It was pretty crowded, but not super crowded. I got a smash burger again for food. It was really good. Much higher portions than the first time I got a smash burger. The fries slapped. And the game was a lot of fun. We got seats like right behind home plate, but the upper decks. We had a great view of the city. We were in the shade most of the game too. I got there super early. It was the first time I've ever gotten there to a game early enough to see batting practice. Which I don't know if I would do that again, just because if it was cooler out, like maybe 10 degrees cooler, I probably would have gone into the outfield and try and get a ball during BP. But it was almost 100 degrees, and my seats were just getting in the shade, so it felt kind of nice. So I just sat in my seats and watched BP. Um, Other than that, nothing crazy that you wouldn't expect to see from a Tigers game. Otherwise, it was a good game though. They won 6-1. Good pitching outing for Troy Melton. He's turning into a real stud for the team. And I got to see another in-person torque bomb. That's 2 in-person torque bombs for me this year. Love it. I love it all. So that was that. And then the Tigers won again the following night, beating the A's 4-1. So they got a series sweep over the A's.
Reminder, the A's are a Lugnuts affiliate. Would you look at that? They suck just like the Lugnuts do. We'll talk about more about that in a little bit.
Then they continued their last series. They continued their homestand in their final series before the break against the Phillies. They carried in a ton of momentum, beating the Phillies 10-2 in Game 1. So things were looking up for the Tigers. They were 6 games below 500 on a 4-game win streak. They'd won 7 out of their last 8. They were getting hot. And then the Phillies happened. The Phillies beat the Tigers in Game 2 of the series 4-2. This was after Phillies starter pitched an absolute gem, and then the Tigers got a couple runs back, but it wasn't enough. Then they lost the series finale to the Phillies 5-0. This was another gem by the Phillies pitchers, and Skubal getting pulled a little too early in another start, and then the bullpen blew it. Montero gave up 4 runs when he came into the game. But it didn't matter because the Tigers only got like 2 guys on base the entire game. Because what's the point of not striking out? So the Tigers are currently in the All-Star break, 8 games below 500. That is not horribly manageable considering what their month of May looked like. They still have a lot of hope, still a lot of potential. If I'm Tarek Skubal, I want the fuck out because he's getting 0 run support. And why the fuck would he stay? But we'll see what happens. We'll get back to the Tigers next week. There won't be a week where we don't talk about the Tigers just because they start up their season again on Friday. And then we do another podcast on Wednesday. But in fact, I'll be seeing the Tigers again, not in Detroit, in Chicago on Monday. And I'm very excited.
We're singing, go Cubs, go. Go
Field.
Cubs, go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are going to win today. Go. Okay, sorry. I want the Tigers to win, but I just love that song.
I'm excited to see Wrigley Field. I think it's going to be an absolutely incredible stadium, and it will be another bucket list stadium knocked off my list. So I'm very, very excited about that. I will say we're also going to see the Brewers Stadium on Friday, so I will talk about that next week. Brewers playing the Marlins, so that should be fun. I've never seen the Marlins, never seen the Brewers, and I've never seen the Cubs, so that'll be 3 new teams for me. And the A's were a new team for me because I've never seen the A's before. So that will be fun.
Make sure you post it on sportslogbook.com.
You know it, baby.
I'm starting to get the hang of that.
That's right. I'm indoctrinating people into the sportslogbook.com fandom.
And now it's time to talk about.
Well, let's actually hold on. Let's talk about the All-Star stuff first.
Oh, okay, cool. That.
Well, first the MLB draft. The MLB draft happened.
That's better.
Let me pull up that.
And then I'll talk about also when we get to the Lugnuts, the athletic draft picks, because they will be soon to be Lugnuts. So
the MLB draft happened. Nothing too crazy went down. The first overall pick was Roch Cholosky from UCLA. Went to the White Sox. The Tigers' first round pick was Cameron Flukie. Hopefully he's not a fluke. From Coastal Carolina. How many rounds were there?
Lots.
Holy shit. Fuck. I gotta find where else the Tigers took. Who else the Tigers took? I don't know what the fuck. They also took Evan Dempsey from Florida Gulf Coast, a pitcher. Then they took Dominic Pellegrin, a shortstop from Holy Cross. High school. It was a high school player they drafted. That's kind of crazy. Declan Dow from Louisiana Tech, another pitcher. Maddox Maloney, a shortstop from Oregon. Basically, the Tigers only draft pitchers and shortstops. Brady Ballinger, first baseman from Kansas. There's 78 pages. I'm not going through all those pages.
Yeah, don't.
Robert Amdi, third baseman from St. Martin. Another shortstop. Or St. Martin. No, St. Martin SS. It just says SS, but said shortstop. Basically, we won't see any of those prospects called up for about 7 years. Because they'll just be rotting away in the minor league system for forever until Chris Ilitch finally decides to call them up. But cool. Welcome to the Tigers organization. Have fun in West Michigan. So, that was that. The other big thing for the MLB this week was the All-Star Game. Now, the least surprising thing happened, and Aaron Judge could not play in the All-Star Game. Wow, guy who's out for the year with injury can't play in the All-Star Game. Shocker. As a result, Riley Green got called up and got to start the game, batting 8th. So that was cool. Kevin McGonigal got to play as well. I saw him play a little bit. I don't know if Dingler got to play. I think Dingler did get to play a little bit. But the AL beat the NL 4-0 in an NL ballpark, so I think it's pretty funny. The AL threw a pitching gem, so there wasn't a whole lot that went down otherwise. But just thought I'd point that out. So fun experience for everybody involved. That's it for Tigers / MLB action. Gary, I'll let you take it away with anything else.
First, for right now, let's go to Kalamazoo, because there was a lot of stuff on Kalamazoo. They had their All-Star Game, which was in I forgot what it was called. Field of Dreams, that's what it's called. Area. It looked pretty cool. And it was the whole entire Great Lakes team versus the Great Plains team. Each pitcher they put up, each pitcher can play 1/2 to 2/2 innings, so that all the pitchers could get their chance to pitch, which I think is a good idea for them, because sometimes they don't get their chance to pitch.
Yeah, they do the same thing in the MLB All-Star Game, which I like.
But with that being said, I didn't put the score on here, but I put the win versus loss, and the winner was the Great Lakes. So that means Kalamazoo, Traverse City, and Battle Creek and Royal Oak and their entire division beat the Great Plains in the All-Star game. So that's a W for our sake. But then the Kalamazoo Growlers went to the straight loss streak that they were on a couple weeks ago because they were already on a 2-game losing streak. Why not lose 2 more? Especially to the Traverse City Pit Spitters, who we lost to the first game. It doesn't say on here, I just realized. Oh, wait, I figured it out. Hold on. On July 10th, Growlers lost to the Pit Spitters 19-12, and then this says July 12th, but it's supposed to say July 11th. On July 11th, the Pit Spitters beat the Growlers 17-6, and then on July 12th, the Growlers lose to Battle Creek 12-2. While it was happening, 2 former Growlers went into the draft and got drafted. Outfielder Connor Schaus, I think that's his name. He was the 2025 Kalamazoo Growler. And then going to the Miami Marlins right-handed pitcher, 14th round, 415th pick, Tyler Kappa. He was a part of the 2024 Kalamazoo Growlers team. And I realized this when I looked it up last night, or this morning actually, that he is going to be a part of the Midwest League. The Miami Marlins have a team in the Midwest League called the Beloit Skycarp. He will be a part of that team. So if they ever come to Lansing again, I'm going to have to get an autograph of his because he is a Kalamazoo Growler, and he will always be a Kalamazoo Growler, and I'll have to bring my Kalamazoo Growler hat so that he can sign it. So, especially if he's pitching. But for now, he'll be that. But also, we got 3 more that was also coming in. A guy, undrafted free agent, New York Met now, right-handed pitcher, Sam Carlisle? I think that's his name. The way they did it with the circle, and then it showed the Met logo, and then it showed the player, and then it says his name on the side. It's just so hard to see. So, sorry if I'm turning my head. I'm trying to see his name. Sorry there, mate. Sorry, dear. And then the Washington Nationals picked up an undrafted free agent, left-handed pitcher, Tyler Peppenbrock. I think that's his name. He will be a new player. And then this one was huge for Kalamazoo fans because I don't know why, but a lot of Kalamazoo fans love the San Francisco Giants for some reason. Undrafted free agent, San Francisco Giants selected Brody Akers, infielder, and he was on the 2024 and 2025 Kalamazoo Growlers. So, thank you to your help. You may have not have been there for the championship year, but there's a lot of time where we destroyed the Pit Spitters and the Battle Creek Battlejacks, and we thank you for your service of beating them. So, and then after that, Kalamazoo goes and faces Battle Creek again, 8-7 as the Growlers win. And then I feel like Kalamazoo had a grudge on Battle Creek because now it's official. Tied in first place with the most runs scored in a game officially are the Kalamazoo Growlers as they beat Battle Creek 29-9. You want to beat us 12 to whatever you beat us to? We're going to beat you by 20. Fuck you, Battle Jacks. So we're in a 2-win streak. We face Battle Creek, I think, again tonight in a 4-game series. So far, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Kalamazoo leads the series. It could be a split series tonight, or the Kalamazoo Growlers can win the series. So far, the series rivalries and Royal Oak series. So the Royal Oak series is staying 4-2 because we haven't faced Royal Oak yet. The I-94 rivalry cup is now 5-2 Growlers. And sadly, I don't even think we're coming back from this because I don't think there's any more games left against Traverse City. So I think Traverse City is going to win the series for the 131 series. They are leading right now 1-8 after our only win was against them the first game of the year.
It's unfortunate.
So, but you know what? Traverse City is really good. I hate to say it, but Traverse City is a really, really good team.
Also, Traverse City has the nicer ballpark.
Also, they're a pretty new team, so that's why.
Cool.
They were made in 2019. Meanwhile, the Kalamazoo Growlers was still a team, but way before that. That's the only reason why they have a good ballpark. Anyways, we're not talking about Traverse City right now. Now we're going to talk about the Lansing Lugnuts, who have been on a slowly piece of shit team recently. You get close to Dayton, you split the series against Dayton, and now you're going up against Lake County, the other team that is literally was on battling for first place in the first half. By the way, before I finish this off, guess who the next series is against? The current leaders of the second half, the Great Lake Loons. So that's going to even be more fun. Why do you do... Oh, no, wait, it's Fort Wayne. Never mind. We still have a chance. But still, after that, it's Great Lakes. So, anyways, on July 7th, Lugnuts lose to Lake County 5-8. On July 8th, Lugnuts lose to Lake County 6-1. And then July 9th, again, they lose to Lake County 7-8. And then this would be the series. If they lose to Lake County. But they did. Lugnuts lost to Lake County 4-6. As they lose the series to Lake County. Now we're just hoping that they don't get swept. That's all I care about. If you lose the series, just don't get swept. And I'll be okay. And they didn't. They didn't get swept because the Lugnuts on 7-11 day.
Slurpees, yay!
The Lugnuts won against the Captains 6-4. And then on 7-12 day, Nuts win against the Captains 3-2. So it was a good day for those 2 days. So we're coming off All-Star break with wins, back-to-back wins. So, and we will be home. I will not be working the Fort Wayne games. I will hopefully be going to the Carlos Beltran jersey giveaway because let me tell you something. I want that jersey. So, if I get it, it will definitely be on, I think, next week's podcast. So, be ready for that. And then I'm just taking a look on here. No more MLB. Now we can get into
Whoa,
other.
whoa, whoa! We got a whoa! What the hell is this news? Hold on, we're gonna pivot back to hockey real quick.
Oh, something happened.
This is
Something
coming
happened
out.
live.
This is coming out of the Red Wings camp. What the
Uh-oh.
fuck? Stop! Stop it! Stop it!
Uh-oh, that's not good. Anything that comes out of the Red Wings camp is probably Dylan
Oh
Larkin.
boy, here we go. This came out literally 16 minutes ago at the time of recording this. Red Wings announced
It's on Twitter.
leadership transition.
Wait, so
Well,
did they fire...
they did not fire Steve Yzerman, but he is no longer the coach. Steve
Coach, you mean
Yzerman
owner?
is transitioning from his role as executive vice president and general manager. He will continue serving the organization as senior advisor to Governor and CEO Chris Ilitch. A search for a new head of hockey operations is underway. Wow, they actually did it.
I think I know why
That
this
is crazy.
though. I think I know why they're doing this, and that's because they don't want Larkin gone. They want Larkin to stay as the captain, and they want him to stay as a Red Wing. And I feel like Dylan Larkin said this to them. Okay, you have two options. Oh, hold on. Breaking news on News 10. I think this is what you just said. With Steve Yzerman out as the GM. Yeah, it is. Okay, never mind. But I think what they're doing is he said two things. You either trade me or you take a new role as leadership. And I stay. That's your two options. So I feel like they want him to stay in a way, but I just don't know. Maybe that's the issue. I think Dylan Larkin was fed up with Steve Yzerman, and he said,
No shit.
either you're trading me or I'm just, I don't know. But it's good that, the Red Wings are actually listening to the fans, which they haven't done since 2009, and, did something about it. We've talked about Steve Yzerman not doing so good. I mean, we love Steve Yzerman. Let's be honest here. As a Red Wings fan, him as a player, him as a legend, that's going to stick. No matter what. So
Yeah, but him as a coach though.
But him as an owner, and if he's a coach, I'm going to be upset. Because even a coach, he's not that good.
We trusted the Yzerplan, and the Yzerplan failed. And now,
Multiple
the
times.
Yzerplan is over. No more Yzerplan.
Now we just got to find a new GM. Get Brad Holmes into it. Get Dan Campbell into it.
Dan
Maybe we'll be good.
Campbell. Yes, Dan Campbell's the Red Wings guy. Yes.
Dan Campbell as the Red Wings GM and the Detroit Lions coach.
You can't go for it on fourth down if there's no fourth downs in hockey.
Right, proven. You could go for it on fourth down.
No, instead he'll just be an empty net the entire game.
Why is it always going in the net? This is not how it's supposed to be played.
Alright, anyway. Just wanted to pivot from that. The Yzerplan, folks, is over. So hopefully the Red Wings can make some changes at the coaching realm and get back to it. So big changes there. Pivoting now to our others category. The World Cup. Let's highlight the World Cup, how that's been going. Let me get that pulled up.
World Cup.
Ah! we are down to the World Cup finals, but what happened? Yes, what happened before that? When was our last episode? Oh shit, we got a lot to go over. Going back to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, France beat Morocco 2-0. Spain beat Belgium 2-1. England beat Norway 2-1. And Argentina beat Switzerland 3-1. And then we had the semifinals, which we're down to the semis now. We already have one spot in the World Cup final already locked up. Spain beat France 2-0. And today, right as this video comes out, this podcast episode, will also be the start of the other semifinals game between England and Argentina. The winner of that game will play Spain on Sunday for the World Cup final, and the loser will play France for the third place game, which is on Saturday. So we'll have one more round of covering the World Cup. That'll be next week. But there is your results. So honestly, it's kind of looking like it's going to be an Argentina versus Spain matchup here. Because Argentina has looked pretty much unstoppable the entire tournament. But maybe not. Maybe England can pull off something good for once. That is that. The other big tournament that I wanted to touch on, we haven't talked about it yet. We don't talk about tennis much on this tournament on this podcast, but I wanted to touch on Wimbledon. I think that's always the biggest tournament. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. Maybe the U.S. Open's the biggest one.
I don't watch golf, so I wouldn't know.
Garry, this is tennis.
I don't watch tennis, so I wouldn't know.
But I just wanted to go over the results of Wimbledon because it's over now. Jannik Sinner won the men's singles championship. And the women's singles championship went to Linda Noskova. The men's doubles championship was won by Henry Patton and Harry Eliovara. And then the women's doubles championship was won by Guo Hanyu and Kristina Mladenovic. And then the mixed doubles championship was won by Jelena Ostapekino. I am butchering all of these names. And Marcelo Arevalo. So there you go. That is Wimbledon, folks. Probably the only tennis stadium that I'd ever actually want to visit. Because it looks really cool. So I thought I'd just highlight that. That is Wimbledon. And it looks like, Garry, you had something in this category as well, so...
Yes, I do. NASCAR, well, not NASCAR, but IndyCar and iRacing have now made a new game together. And it's... they haven't made it fully 100% of when it's going to come out, but to know it's being helped by iRacing, me and Tyler should know, it's going to be a good one probably. Because, let me tell you something. Ever since we talked about our first time playing on NASCAR 25 online, yesterday we were just on NASCAR 25 online with other players, and it was the funniest shit we've ever had against other players. Some of them made Tyler upset, which I can understand why, because they were running him into the wall.
Because they were crashing me intentionally. I don't get it. Why are you just crashing me intentionally?
But with IndyCar,
Crash the AI guys.
It's cool to see IndyCar now making a return. I don't think I've played an IndyCar game since it was on the Wii, and it was just called Indy. And I think you could just race the Indy 500. So, and it was an old style IndyCar game. So, um, I remember playing that, and that was a classic game. So, I know for 100% I'll probably get that game just to test it out and then post it on this podcast. Because we need to figure out if iRacing is actually going to be the new high for all video games of racing. Because if it is, and it's good, because I mean NASCAR 25 is a little bit made, or sorry, iRacing has help with Dale Earnhardt Jr. So Jr. helps out a lot with it. So we're in good hands, and I think he's got a little bit of smarts from his father. So he knows some of that stuff. But other than that, now we can get into NASCAR.
Yes. I get my cat out of the picture so she doesn't unplug the computer again like she's done a few times on this podcast. NASCAR action in the books from this past weekend. Now, the Truck Series was in Lime Rock Park, while the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series were in Atlanta. Not calling it Echo Park Speedway.
We're calling it Atlanta.
They had a really cool story at the beginning of the Lime. I did not watch much of the action. I had to work most of the weekend. So I watched the first couple stages of the truck race at Lime Rock Park before having to go to work. And then I was able to, thankfully, catch the end of the NASCAR Cup race at Atlanta because of the rain delay, which we will get to a little bit later. But the truck race was cool because they did a little thing at the beginning where they showed there was like a giant storm that had come through earlier in the year, and they didn't even know that they were going to be able to race at Lime Rock Park because of it. But they showed that the community and employees and stuff pitching in and cleaning up the track, and seeing before and after was kind of cool. Seeing how well they were able to put it back together.
The ARCA series was there too.
Really, really nice. But the truck race was pretty good. Lime Rock Park, I think it was a little less chaotic than it was last year. I think just because the drivers know the track now at least a little bit, so they were able to better race it. It wasn't just drivers sliding around all the time and not really being able to pass. There was actually a lot of good action on the racetrack. There was a lot of mechanical problems from drivers, and there was a couple big crashes near the end as things started to get kind of crazy. But it was mostly dominated early on by the two drivers that have dominated the points the entire season, Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt. But sneaking through after Lane Riggs had a crash and Caden Honeycutt had some problems, it would be Grant Enfinger, who they talked about as not really having a great shot to win due to some pre-race issues, but he pulled through and secured his first win of the season. So good job, Grant Enfinger. Then the Xfinity race I didn't get to watch at all, again because I was at work. But it looked pretty good. Some stuff going on, a good finish too at the end. I was really pulling for anybody in the field that night except for Justin Allgaier, so it kind of sucked that he was the one that went on to win it.
But, yeah, Justin Allgaier, woo!
But, any more victories to postpone his retirement, I guess, is good. So, there's that. Justin Allgaier won. Big stuff there. Really, otherwise, pretty what you would expect from Atlanta. Austin Hill crashed, so that was good. We don't like seeing him win. So, there's that. Stop it. Then the Cup race, obviously, again, like I said, was affected by rain. I didn't think I'd be able to watch any of the race. The racing was actually pretty boring from the start. It got very spread out in the first stage. They were lapping people. The second stage was a little bit more condensed, and then the rain hits. There was a long rain delay, which allowed me to get home and watch the end of the second stage and the third stage, which was really nice. Some good racing in the third stage. Some not a lot of on-track incidents. Bubba Wallace went for a slide at the end of stage 2. AJ Allmendinger had a bad night. He crashed twice in stage 3. And then there was a big one near the end. Kyle Larson had a bad night. He crashed twice. There was a big one near the end of the race that sent it into the finish. It was a much Penske-dominated night, as it seems to always be at Atlanta. And as they came down to the end, it would actually be Carson Hocevar that had the lead near the end of the race, but the Penske cars were too much to overcome. Ryan Blaney had a really, really dominant night. His first really dominant performance of the season, and a much-needed one for him, as he has not really been on much of a tear lately. And he picks up his second win of the season, which was great for me because we picked Ryan Blaney in fantasy. Fantasy win. Number 5, baby. He swept the stages and won the race. It would have been a maximum points day for Ryan Blaney. He was so close to having a perfect 76-point day, except for one point. He did not get the Xfinity fastest lap. Guess who beat him out?
You want to know who did?
Guess who beat him out for it? Cody Ware.
The man, Cody Ware, baby.
Cody Ware gets the fucking Xfinity fastest lap. What the fuck are we doing? I mean...
Listen, we're only saying this because when we were on NASCAR 25, it was either Riley Herbst or fucking Cody Ware coming out of left field and passing us, and even Cody Ware won the race. We accidentally let Cody Ware win the race.
Yeah, Cody Ware won the fucking race. I'm like, what the... This guy is like a fucking goat in this game. What the fuck? You know, the coding in that is weird, but... Yeah, so Ryan Blaney wins. No new changes to the New Year's Eve Spectacular as a result. Nothing else crazy to go over. The race got over at almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I ended up falling asleep with about 23 laps to go. I just could not stay awake. And then I woke up to see that Ryan Blaney had won the race. It was just after the race finished. He was doing his burnout. And I was very happy. And then I went to bed. Overall, it's what you probably expect from Atlanta. Like I've said a couple times before. We talked about it last week. And I talked about it in my 2027 schedule video that I made on the main channel. I don't see the point of going to Atlanta in fucking July because you're going to get rain problems like this. I don't give a fuck that TNT is headquartered there. Like, make TNT broadcast it earlier in the season. I'd rather them take another Fox date away than go to this fucking track in July so we get rain delayed.
Honestly, put TNT where Prime Video is, and Prime Video does this. Like,
Or
you know...
Prime Video does it all, because Prime has really good broadcast.
Or Prime Video doesn't do it all, because I don't even have Prime Video. The only Prime I was able to watch was the Michigan race. That was it.
Why were you able to watch the Michigan race, but not the other ones?
Because it was my last day with Prime Video.
Oh.
So I just got lucky.
Yeah, so that was that. Nothing else crazy. Bubba Wallace got penalized. He finished third or second, but then got penalized for going below the yellow line. He is pissed because he doesn't think he advanced his position, which he didn't, but that's the yellow line rule for ya. Fucks over everybody. So there's that. So he ended up finishing 27th as a result. Kind of killing his points. Right. Speaking of points, Ryan Blaney is quickly closing the gap for the championship lead between him, Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick. So that's becoming a pretty interesting championship battle. So that'll be fun to look at as we go on in the summer.
And after Atlanta, Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick are officially in the chase.
They are. They did officially make the chase. So there's that. As far as poker chips go,
I didn't put it on there because I wanted to I wanted to say like what happened. As you know, I picked. Well, sorry. Let me go by guest versus us. Tyler picked Joey Logano. All right.
that was looking like a good pick until he fucking crashed.
And had Noah Gragson. Guess who I had? I had Bubba Wallace. I said last week that I was going to lose. What do you know? Bubba Wallace had to go under the yellow goddamn line and try to pass. That idiot cost me my win at Atlanta. So the winner, and now is 6-5, is Tyler.
Yay!
And that also means he has swept both Atlanta races.
Wait, I thought Logano crashed. Where did Noah Gragson finish?
Near the back.
Oh.
There we go. I'll just do... Oh, shit. I'll push Atlanta 1 and 2 just because that's how we know. Okay.
Oh, Logano finished 9th. Okay. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought he crashed out of the race.
He did, but then he came back and somehow made it back. So, poker chips. I'm going to put Bubba Wallace in there. Excuse me. And shake up. Tyler, this is yours.
We're going to North Wilkesboro this weekend.
Hey.
Cup finally gets a point state at North Wilkesboro again. I think the race will be all right. It's not going to be great because North Wilkesboro, with the short track package, just can't hold always. But I hope that it's a good enough race where they continue to go there. Again, though, it's going to be in the middle of fucking July. I don't understand that logic at all. But, you know, such is life. So, but here we go.
So, for Tyler, he got... Hold on, let me get my thing up. He got William Byron. Willie B.
Not bad at all.
And for me, I got Tyler's pick last week. If only I got it last week. I got Joey Logano.
Should be a good duel at least.
At least we got a Penske versus Hendrick driver. And not, you know, a random fucking driver.
All right. Well, I think that is it for this week. A bit shorter of an episode, but that's okay because, you know, such is life. We're going to go do other fun things. Like I said, we're going to have a lot to talk about next week. I got 2 new MLB stadiums coming up that I'm going to be visiting, and I will talk about them here on the podcast as well as give reviews on them on the YouTube channel. But we're going to go over as the Tigers get back into action. We're going to go over the finale of the World Cup, NASCAR action, all that sort of jazz, and whatever craziness might come up otherwise. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Stay tuned for other much more amazing content both from me and Hitmaster. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.